Yo, yo, yo. Good evening. Good shadow. Robat. Peace. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on here. So as you can see, those of you who've been tagging along, I don't have a fucked up phone screen no more. My shit's not broken. Got another one. So we're gonna get back to regular scheduled programming. Like it's almost a full moon. Probably gonna be a full moon tomorrow or something. So I hope everybody's been having a good start to the year. You ain't forget your New Year's resolutions and all that. Hope you're still staying at it. I'm doing my best. Get a lot of things, a lot of things accomplished. And there's a lot of things I gotta tighten up on. Such is the way of the warrior. It's first things first. Tonight, after this live, getting back in the studio and gonna complete the mastering process of mileage. Been having some technical difficulties and such things. So I'm gonna finish that. Got like a couple ad libs on a track or two, and it's just balancing and leveling and mastering. And I'm gonna go ahead and get that out. For right now, it's fuck distro kid. I think I talked about that in a live a couple lives ago, so I'm not gonna elaborate on it. But it is what it is. If you're looking for the rest of my catalog of music, it is still available on samuraiblackmusic.com. You can pay any amount that you want and purchase whatever song, album, etc. you want. You can pay $1. You can pay however many, hundreds or thousands of dollars, whatever. And you can grab that on samuraiblackmusic.com. We got the merch. What's up, Edith? How you doing? Yeah, we got the merch on there. All that's linked in the description. And right now, because I've been receiving some messages from some people saying they can't find my music catalog anywhere. What's up, Obama? It was going pretty good. It's been a great day. Got a lot more things to do before I clock out for the night. But yeah, I've had a lot of people reaching out and saying like they can't find my music. And yeah, so there's currently a dispute I have with one of my distributors, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna end up having to pay me some money. And but in the meantime, they weren't able to take it off of Apple Music. I don't think Apple Music allows those kind of games that they try to play. So my whole catalog is up on Apple Music still. Got the Soul Rising album, got those classics like Florida Winter, Shogun, all 8 or 9 or whatever of my albums and my EPs and singles and stuff are still live and available on Apple Music. So if you're looking on Spotify and you can't find it, you can hit the link in the description. I'm pretty sure it'll give you a 30-day free trial. I'll double check it after this live, but you can feel free to grab that, listen to it on there, listen to whatever else you like. Do you play the skin flute on your music? No, absolutely not. That doesn't sound like my type of instrument, my friend. What games do I play? I don't really play any games these days. I used to be a very heavy gamer. I was very much like a MMO RPG guy. I played first-person shooters and all that kind of stuff too. But I really like the kind of open world MMO kind of feel. And but these days, because I've been focused more so on business, just like every now and then I'll pick up like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and I'll just stomp on some people. Like, it's very satisfying having the name Samurai Black and picking up a Japanese card game and then playing against people in Japan and just stomping them. Had their own shit. It's very fun. So, Yeah, I play that every now and then, but other than that, I don't really play nothing else. What's your favorite food? Um, I don't know, probably some kind of plant. Uh, just had like a nice little soup, a little concoction my wife put together. So had some lentils and kale and collards and um, spinach and all that kind of stuff in there. Purple potatoes. I just like anything that makes me feel good, anything that doesn't give me the itis and make me feel like shit. So I can't do meat anymore. I just can't. I can't bear with it. It'll just instantly put me to sleep. And after I eat, I like to get right back to work. So that shit don't work for me. Uh, uh, you young, you're like 7. That's cool. Welcome. So yeah. What else we got? All right. So yeah, I've been talking and kind of teasing over the last like 4 or 5 months about this film that's going to come with the Mileage album. So there's going to be a Mileage album and a Mileage movie. I think I have the teaser on my channel. It might be like the feature video on there. If not, you can just kind of scroll through and see. Make sure you subscribe. And it's also on my Instagram. But I just want to let y'all know, those of y'all who have been waiting on that this shit is about to be way better than I initially intended it to be, because there's certain tools and resources I've gained access to that give me the ability to literally build an entire world around this. So it's going to be incredible. How many songs did I make? Hundreds, several hundreds. I don't know. I probably recorded at least like 3,000 songs at this point. I've been making music since like 2011 or 12 or something like that. And I've been releasing, at least under this name, since 2018, 2017, I think 2018. So I got like 8 or 9 albums out. I got a couple EPs, and I have a whole handful of singles. So if you go on any platform, or if you go on my website, samuraiblackmusic.com, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of songs. There's even albums on there that I never released, but I just made exclusively on the website. Like one I could think of called Traffic Tetris. And that was all about kind of like my journey navigating the streets of Orlando back in the day when I was a young man and I was a bit wild, riding around with weapons and dealing with all sorts of precarious situations and stuff like that. So very interesting era. That's one that I kind of always consider re-recording, but on the same token, I'm so far from that now. Like I didn't even have any children or anything. I wasn't married. I was, just doing a bunch of wild young nigga shit, as they call it. Now, I got 3 children. I got a wife. I'm looking to move off to a farm and just get off the grid and stuff like that. So it don't really resonate with me anymore. So I can't really re-record it, but I might kind of like retouch on the mastering or something like that and maybe put that out at some point. I don't know. Yeah, so it's definitely, I've definitely recorded like over 1,000 songs at this point, at least written. And then I had like 10 full albums of freestyle sessions that I did like up to 2017. So yeah, it's a lot of songs, Italy in like a couple hours. Oh, it's your dad's birthday tomorrow? Happy birthday to your pops. That's what's up. That's always good. Make sure you do something special for him. Even if you can't get something special for him, just do something to make his day brighter. Put a smile on his face. It matters. I could say as a father, I could say it, when it comes to our children, if we see that our children do a thing to make us smile, or just put in the effort to do so, it means a lot to us. Because fathers, I'm telling you, fathers go through a lot. Fathers go through things that nobody will really be able to overstand or even imagine, and we'll just kind of take it silently. You say your father's Italian? Yeah, yeah. Basically a couple hours. That's cool. So, excuse me, one moment. So yeah, the Mileage movie is going to be coming out soon. Um, I'll be seeing if any of the artists that I work with previously, if they may want to collaborate on that to kind of put their story in it too. Because I think, like, the thing about this Mileage project is it's kind of, I always put a bit of my life into every story. It's kind of like checkpoints. Like it's kind of like I hit quick save, and each album kind of reflects like the journey and ventures of that period of time. But Mileage in particular is for me is very special because I just go over the whole story. Like I go over the whole thing up to where I am, and it's not necessarily like I break down like, oh, and in the 90s I was born and blah blah blah, even though I probably put that in a bar at some point. But it's not like a chronological thing. Like I'm not like doing a fucking autobiography. But on the same token, you get a real feel for who I am, how I walk, what I stand on, you know, what's important to me. And hopefully you see a bit of what's important to you through the experience of, you know, resonating and feeling the album. So I'm looking forward to this one, and I'm looking forward to being able to put out the visuals for it, both the individual music videos and the full film, because the full film is going to be something completely separate. It's not going to be like how some artists, they'll just like put together a bunch of their music videos and just say this is the short film. No, I'm really making a movie out of this. So I'm super looking forward to that one. Then after that one, I have the next album. It's about, I'll say it's about 80% written and have rough drafts recorded already. I'm not going to say the title of that because I'll probably get banned on YouTube again. And I don't want to have to make another account for the 65th fucking time. No exaggeration. So, yeah, there's another that's coming after that. And then I have a EP that I'm going to work on. And this one kind of just sprung to my mind last week. Somewhere in between Mileage and the next album, the EP is going to be called Disillusioned EP. So this is just going to be talking about and it kind of exploring the feelings and themes of, you know, say you have this hero or you have someone that you look up to, someone that you know, maybe go as far as idolizing, and realizing that it's not really what it's cooked up to be. It's not really, they're not really who they portray themselves to be. And coming through that process and just coming to understand yourself and coming to, you know, really just coming into your own, you know, coming into your own footing, walking in your own shoes, stepping out of that place of living vicariously through other people and instead into living through your own experiences and becoming the main character of your own story, right? Because I think that's important. And this is why I don't even get offended if it's only, you know, a few people sticking around in these lives or whatever. Because ideally, at the end of the day, everybody should be out living their own life. Hopefully they didn't just scroll off and just, you know, because they see a guy talking, they just scrolled and just went to some fucking brain rot and they're watching like some AI only channel or whatever. Hopefully, you know, they actually swiped off the app and put the fucking phone down and went out and did something that they want to do, went out and did something that inspired them, you know, etc. So I appreciate you subscribing. Go live on Sunday, 10 a.m. I'll see. I don't know what your time zone is, but I'll see what's going on. So anyway, like, I think it's very important, especially this year, that more and more people start doing the things that they're called to do. And I talk about this a lot, but it's because it's very fucking important. The world's always going to have people that follow along. The world's always going to have, this wouldn't be much of a platform if it weren't for subscribers. But on the same token, people need to be willing to kind of step out of their comfort zone and start building and doing things that they want to do and that they enjoy and that inspires them, things that they didn't think that they could achieve before, or just trying shit. Because one thing that I found, and it's something that I learned from a mentor as well, is that oftentimes people don't do things because that fear will bubble up, and that fear will make them feel like if they do it, they're gonna die. Like that fight or flight response kicks in, and that adrenaline kicks in, the cortisol and all that. But in reality, like even if you're like, let's say, I don't know, you're some sort of salesman and you're selling a product or something, and you're asking for the sale, like people be like scared to get rejected in a sale, as if like that rejection is gonna come with like them pulling a gun on you and firing or something like that. No, you're not gonna fucking die from most cases at least. You're not gonna die from asking someone to purchase your product or service. Like you're not gonna die from trying to do something that inspires you, as long as it's not like something like wild. Like I'm not talking about like going skydiving with no parachute or anything like that. I'm not talking about going skydiving at all, unless that's really, really what you want to do. But in general, in a general sense, if you have a goal, you have a dream, and there's something that you want to achieve and you want to do, you just do it. Because if you do it, you're not 9 times out of 10, 9.999 times out of 10, you're not going to die from doing it, or trying at least. Even if you fall short, it doesn't matter. Like even if you quote unquote fail, it doesn't matter, because with every loss comes a lesson. And this is something, as my children start to get older, I'll continue to embed in them. And I'm already seeing some of the traits, some of these lessons kind of showing in them. And I'll give a quick example real quick before we bounce up out of here. So my son has been like over the last month obsessively wanting a certain group of toys. And he'll come up to me multiple times a day. Even now that he's already got them, spoiler alert, he got these toys. But I'll just kind of tell how it happened. So he'll just come up to me and be like, Daddy, I want an orange truck, a red truck, a trailer, a excavator, a bulldozer, a semi-truck, and a pink car for baby. Pink car for baby, he means his baby sister, right? And he kept saying this over and over and over again. Like there's some periods of time where he would just like get stuck on loop and keep saying it for an hour, just standing there next to my desk. And I just have to be like, all right, man, all right, we're gonna get it, right? Now, there was this one time, I want to say like a week and change ago, where he came up to me and he said it, but he kind of varied from the usual spiel. He said, I want these things. Mind you, he's 2 years old. He said, I want these things and I don't want anything else. Now, this stuck in my mind because as soon as I heard him say that, first of all, I never heard him say that phrase before. I don't even know if I said it before. I don't know where he picked that up. But second of all, I immediately identified this as definiteness of purpose. And what I mean by this is, if you study those like Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Neville Goddard, Dr. Malachi Z. York, Earl Nightingale, any kind of teacher or presenter of like personal development and utilizing the mind and law of attraction and all these things people talk about, manifesting, etc., right? They have this concept and it goes by various names, but some call it definiteness of purpose. Some call it like a burning desire. There's a bunch of different names for it. But essentially, it's just being latched onto an idea and having it so deeply ingrained in your psyche that you can't focus on anything else. It's like a delusion, a delusional obsession. And basically, the people who what we find if you I mean if you study this scientifically, and this can go for good things, for bad things, whatever. It's a more or less an agnostic concept, but what you find is people who have this sort of level of burning desire or just pure, like thorough through and through obsession, they'll get the thing that they want. It'll end up coming to them. There'll be circumstances that start to move along and move in such a way to where it brings that desired result towards them. So me experiencing this myself, like I'm not just speaking from studying these people, I'm speaking from putting these things to the test over the years and seeing it happen in my own life and in others' lives and stuff like that. Me hearing my son say this at 2 years old, I was like, okay, that's a burning desire. He's gonna end up getting those toys. He's gonna end up getting the exact ones that he wants, right? And I just kind of forgot about it. So a couple days later, I go to a thrift store. Now everything was telling me to not go to this thrift store, but I just had this feeling in me that I really wanted to go. I wanted to grab a couple jackets and new ties, new old ties and stuff like that, dress clothes and stuff like that, because I was going to be having some business meetings soon that I wanted to be prepared for. And so I go in there, I grab the clothes that I'm grabbing, and while they're folding them up and tallying up the total, they had some stuff out front of the thrift store. So I decided I would go ahead and step outside. So I said, hey, I'm going to go, see what I can find for my kids. And so I go outside, and out there on the table amongst a bunch of other stuff and like clearance clothes and stuff like that, I see this like pink bin out there. And inside it has a bunch of little toys, right? Little action figures and toy cars and all this stuff. But as I look closer and I start kind of grabbing stuff out of here, I see every single fucking toy that my son has been saying over and over again for the last month. Every single one of them is in there. Every single one. Like I see the orange truck, the red truck, the excavator, the bulldozer, the semi truck. I even see like a crane. And there's a Black Panther toy in there. It's like all these little toys that were exactly what he was talking about. So seeing this, I was like so amazed, because I recognized what happened at this point. I realized that my 2-year-old just manifested that moment of me going to a thrift store and just by chance, after grabbing my things and waiting, going outside and seeing every single one of the toys that he wanted in there, I had to pick it up. So I grabbed the whole thing. They're all kind of priced out $1 each, got their own little stickers. So I just grabbed the whole bin, went inside and said, hey, how much do you want for this whole bin? These are the exact toys that my son has been asking me for 3 weeks straight, for hours and hours on end. And, the lady just took a look and she was like, I'll let you get the whole thing for $5. You got a deal, lady. So I brought those home to my son, and he was delighted through the moon, like through the ceiling, through the roof, whatever the fuck that phrase is. What's up, MP? So when I look at this and I see what occurred there, I realize that the entire reason that my son got those toys as a 2-year-old was because he exerted his burning desire. He exerted his literal obsession with these specific toys on the universe and on the people around him, vis-a-vis me and his mother, so strongly that it created the circumstances to where those toys came to him. That's literally what he did. He manifested it. He mastered manifestation at 2 years old. And I had to admire it, because this is that childlike wonder and just that expectation that things are going to happen and not really being tainted by like the skepticism and such things that come with adulthood. That's what made it so pure and so powerful. So I had to kind of revisit my own approach after seeing this happen. But he got everything he wanted, right? He literally manipulated the entire universe, including myself, to get every single toy that he wanted. And of course, you know, we spray and wipe him down, you know, all that kind of stuff too. But my point is, this is the year where I would suggest everyone that has an objective, everyone that has a thing, like a dream, a goal, everyone goes out and just tries to get it. Just think about it. Just obsess about it. Just really focus in on it. Think about what you can do to get it. Think about how, right? Not you already have the why. The why is because you want it. Okay, think about the how. Not the why not. Not the, oh, I don't know if. No, think about how you can get it. Think about how you can get a step closer to that objective. Right? My son he wasn't taking no, you know, oh, we can't get it, son, because we don't have the money. He wasn't hearing none of that shit. No, I tried it. I tried to say certain things. I'd be like, okay, you know, I pull up some stuff on Amazon and we're like, all right, we're going to get this soon. Daddy got to get the money. Daddy going to go to work and get the money. He'll be like, okay. And he'll just go right back into it and just repeat them over to me again. Just straight hypnotizing me until it popped in my reality and then by extension popped into his. So there's a lot more to this concept, but I've talked about certain books and things, you know, and certain authors that can be studied when it comes to these principles. Again, like a Neville Goddard, Dr. Malachi Z. York, you know, Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, You Were Born Rich. That's a really good series to kind of watch the seminar over and over again, etc. Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich, or The Science of Being Great, or The Science of Being Well. They all have the same principles embedded in it. And the way Wallace D. Wattles puts it, there's a thinking substance from which all things are made, which permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing which is imaged in the thought. And then it kind of goes on to say basically how that thought becomes a thing. That thought comes into reality, right? These are scientific principles that you could test out yourself and see. You know, just like the way Dr. Malachi Z. York would say, don't believe me, go check it out. Go test it. Go see if it works. Behold the image in your mind of a thing that you want or an outcome that you want. And just go try it. Just test it. Just see if, hold that image and start taking actions towards it and see what happens. And, you know, then there's a level of expectation and how sharply you're holding the image. And, you know, there's all these little vectors and factors that you can look at with it. But the point is, it is possible for you to be able to do anything that you want. So I'm not even mad right now that there's 0 people in here listening at this very moment, because some people came in and grabbed the things that they need to get and moved on. That's fine. So anyway, hope this is helpful and insightful for those who hear it or catch it on the replay, or those who were here for the discussion. Mileage album coming very soon. I'm about to get in the studio now. Mileage film is coming soon. Next album is going to be coming shortly thereafter, along with the Disillusioned EP. If you're looking for my music, you can listen to it on Apple Music. A lot of it was taken off Spotify and YouTube and all those other platforms. And you can also grab all of it on SamuraiBlackMusic.com. Just pay what you want and you can own it forever, so we don't have to deal with bitch ass streaming platforms and distributors and such things getting in between these things that we do. So thank y'all for tuning in. Those of y'all that tuned in, make sure you subscribe. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.